Okay, today we're going to have a quick look at something that can cause a lot of annoyance and frustration, and that is invalid geometry. I've created a new project here and a new polygon shape file. We're just going to quickly draw a couple of triangles, one with absolutely no issues, and then another where we put in an extra point up the top here. And what that essentially has done is created a kind of a twist in the geometry. It's not all contained within those lines because the segments actually now cross over each other, and that's what's causing your problem. A common source of this is when you are using the snap and trace option and it traces off to somewhere unexpected, and you haven't noticed it at the time. It doesn't give you any warning at this time that the shape is invalid, but if we have a look at trying to use the split features tool, we get this message to say that the geometry is invalid. So we cancel that message. I'm just going to undo those splits. We then run this tool that is in geometry tools and check validity. You select the layer you want to do. If you've got features within that layer already selected and you only want to run it on those selected features, you get a choice to click the box here. We're going to ignore these three new layers here, and we're going to run. Basically I don't want to save new layers, I'm happy with just temporary layers for this. So we get three outputs. If we take these off one by one, you can see the first is the valid output, which basically says this shape is fine. Got then the invalid output, which says there's something wrong with this shape, and then you've got the error output, which shows you the exact location of that. If you've got a large complex map and you can't quite figure out where these are, right click, zoom to layer, and it will kind of show you where those points are. If you turn everything off as well, it's usually quite obvious because that'll be the only thing showing up on screen. So there's two options to fixing this. Either we can just delete the shape, start again, or we can edit the vertices and remove that extra point that's up the top here. So left click on that and delete, and now we have a perfectly formed triangle. If we save that, get rid of these, and run that tool once more, so vector geometry tools, check validity, and then run. We now have two valid shapes, no invalid output, and no error output, so we know that these two polygons now are correct. And if we just remove them and try to split them like we originally were going to do, right click, that splits, and that one always splits. So yeah, that's how to check for and correct invalid geometries.